Hey everyone, we're at VMworld and we have an exclusive opportunity. Next to me, Pat Gelsinger, CEO of VMware, and it's almost your second year. You just entered your second year.
Yeah, it's over about 13 months now, and what a great environment, what a great year, and obviously being here at EMEA VMworld, right, the energy, what a fabulous event.
Yeah, it's been 13 months, as you said. We had an interview last year where you said you were going to refine Paul's strategic vision that he had. I can feel, because I'm within VMware, absolutely that it worked, but can you explain a little bit about how you see the refinement taking place in VMware?
Sure, and it all has come together very quickly and well. And one of the things I did when I started the company, I talked to about 100 people, right? And almost every single one of them had on their list of things, focus. Yeah. So it's like, okay, so that means that there was sort of this bottom-up belief that, yeah, the vision is good, the strategy is good, but it needs to be focused, it needs to be refined. And obviously, we laid out the 3 pillars, and you know them, right, Jeremy?
Software-defined data center.
Okay, number 1, number 2,
cloud,
number 2, okay.
And user computing.
Okay, everybody got it. And against those, people could say, oh, I know how virtualization fits into that. I know how this infrastructure stuff fits into that. I know how I relate to that. Plus, I get it with regard to where we're going and where it's going to take us into the future. And that's really a powerful vision, that it really helps people know what to do today as well as compel them and where we're going tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you've been speaking a lot about audacious vision. That's, I think, the key message that we're bringing here. Can you explain a little bit about how customers are adopting that, what their reaction is to that?
Well, if we start with the SDDC, right, if we just start there, it takes about 1 minute in any customer meeting for them to get it. Right, they say, oh, you did it to compute, do it for the data center. And it's like you just get into that discussion and it quickly goes from, okay, not a question of if, but how do I do? Where do I start? What's the next step? And to us, that is very powerful. And then if you go think about it, we just want to change networking, right, the first radical network architectural transformation in 25 years, and we not only want to do it, but all of the other services that go with it. How you do routing, how you do firewalls, how you do load balancing. That is audacious, right? And then we say for storage, right? We want to create this, software-defined storage, these new policy-driven layers. We want to enable new models like vSAN of storage, take advantage of flash. Well, that's pretty radical as well. And all the data services that go with it, snapshots, backup, replication. Wow, that's pretty big. And then we want to change everything about management, right? We want to get rid of that old legacy rule-based, script-based environment, right? And deliver this new policy-based, right? Big data-based, right? Telemetry and right capabilities. Wow, that's pretty powerful as well. Whew. And then you say, okay, the next one, we want to do this cloud-based services. We want to deliver, right, an infrastructure as a service alternative as a true extension of the private cloud. And we're going to tackle the biggest players in the cloud environment, right, and do that on a global footprint. Wow, that's a big deal. And we want to change everything about the end user computing experience as well. We want to virtualize the PC, as I like to joke, right? I gotta, get out of purgatory for all the sins of the PC era, but also enable this secure environment for, right, the mobile cloud experience. And you add all those 3 together, it's like, wow, that is audacious. And that's, right, a lot for us to get done, and that really is compelling for everybody.
It is, and I watched this morning's keynote, and you had announcements in each and every area of that. The acquisition of Desktone, obviously the launch of NSX today. There's major announcements here. You must have been prepping for the keynote for a long time and taking it very seriously. Can you talk us a little bit about how you prepare for doing a keynote like that?
Well, in some respects, a keynote like today's keynote is really the culmination of everything everybody's been working on, right, for the last 6 months, right? And as you go think about NSX, we chose today, right, to launch it, but people have been working on that for the last year, and it really is sort of bringing all of that together. And obviously, I put a lot of time and energy personally into preparing it, because I think all 14,000 people of VMware look at this event, and to me, it's just critical that I do a good job of representing their year or 2 or 3 years of work as we go bring it forward. But everybody, right, really pulls together, and I get the great privilege of being being the guy on the stage that everybody's looking at, but in many respects, I'm just being the mouthpiece for the labors of 14,000 people.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking about people, I think there's one person that people are really missing. Steve Herrod obviously left us.
Yeah.
We're now without a CTO for about half a year. Can you talk us a little bit about what the planning is? What are we doing with that?
Sure, and obviously, I'm disappointed that it's taken us that long, but I'm also being very selective. I really, the kind of person we bring in there, right, for that role needs to be, technical, needs to be visionary, but also practical to get stuff done internally. Had a candidate almost at the finish line, and that fell through to my great disappointment. And so now we're going back to the well. We're opening up that recruiting process again. And some people that said no 6 months ago, well, they may be, in that, position that it might be possible. Broadening the aperture a little bit on people that we're looking at across industry and academia. And in the interim, I've asked Paul Strong to step into that role. And over the last 6 months, he's really been the guy behind the curtains, right, and getting a lot of things done. So now we've formalized that acting role for him, and I'll be working with him more closely and really getting his help both in the search as well as how we make sure that we get a good start to Plan 14 for the Office of the CTO.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, talking about 2014, obviously now we've culminated into a lot of big announcements. What's your strategy, or what are you going to be focusing on for the next 6 to 12 months?
Well, in many ways, it's really executing what we laid out. And, NSX, right? Hey, now we got to go get real customers. We got to get those customers into scale operation. We need to enable our partners to be able to deliver it and sell it on a global basis. With VCHS, we're just getting underway. We have to get the global platform enabled. We just announced the UK market. You might have heard there's other markets in Europe that we haven't done yet, right? We have all of Asia and how we make it available. And then many of these services, we just announced the first couple, DR as a service, desktop as a service, but many of those other enterprise services on it. So a lot of work to be done there.
Exactly.
And as much success as we're having in the EUC space, right, so far, we know that the mobile aspect of that is moving very rapidly, and we really got to beef those up. So, those are 3 really good ones for us and for me to focus on for 2014.
I think you'll be more than busy with that. That brings a lot of stress with it. So what do you do to relieve the stress? What do you do for relaxation?
Well, one thing I've just built that, I'm excited and passionate about what we're doing. I'm not a high stress guy. I'm a high passion guy. But I handle it just naturally pretty well. One thing. Second is get out. I exercise regularly, and people and Palo Alto know if at 6 a.m. I'm leaving the gym. Right. A lot of people are showing up.
I've heard the stories.
Yeah. So I like to work out pretty regularly. I ride, I golf, I run. Right. Downhill ski. A lot of those things as well. Read. I have a strong faith as well. So pray and those types of things, and all of those, and just make sure I do a good job.
Taking good care of your body and your spirit as well, and that gets you through the day.
Yeah, and as I've always said, if you've worked hard, you've done a good job during the day, you put your very best into it, it's easy to sleep well at night.
Perfect. Well, I've got confidence in the next year. Thanks so much, Pat.
Thank you. Good to see you.